Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with this week's installment of Rabbi E in 3, give or take. I've added an escape clause. Rabbi E in 3, give or take. We'll try for 3 and maybe more. I hope not. But we're sponsored by MEOR DC. As always, check out our Facebook page, MEOR DC, or MEORDC.org. Up-to-date website. Thanks to my great colleague, Rabbi Nati Stern. He's updated our website. And you'll see on it all the information, including an application for the Maimonides Jewish Leaders Fellowship, which starts this coming Tuesday, February 2nd, 6 p.m. in Marvin Center, 310, free falafel dinner included. Come check it out, even if you haven't applied. Okay, so give or take, I already went through about 45 seconds. You know, way back in my teens or 20s, I don't remember, one of the expressions that was always used was looking out for number one. I think there was a book, popular book, and there was a phrase about looking out for number one. Myself, looking out for number one. It was usually used in a pejorative way, a derogatory way about someone, an egotist. They're always looking out for number one. We're supposed to be looking out for number one in a few different ways, as I'll explain right now. This week's Torah portion is Yisro. You know, I came off an incredible high skiing with my daughter last week. Now, this week's Torah portion is the universal, cosmic, historical high of the revelation at Mount Sinai. God speaks to the Jewish people, really to all mankind, as recorded in the Torah, Aseret HaDibrot, to the 10 commandments, really 10 statements that God makes, that we popularly call the 10 commandments, in a public revelation of the whole Jewish people, every man, woman, and child. Looking out for number one. What do I mean, looking out for number one? Because really, those 10 commandments, can you name them? It's okay. Well, we should name them. I am the Lord your God. Don't have any other gods besides me. Don't take God's name in vain. Honor your father and your mother. Sorry. Keep Shabbos. Make it a holy day. Honor your father and your mother. Don't murder. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't lie and bear false testimony against your fellow man. Don't covet what belongs to your fellow man. 10 commandments. I'm looking out for number one. Number one is the root and foundation of all. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am Hashem your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt from a house of slavery. It's interesting, it's not even in the form directly of an imperative, of a commandment, and many of the great commentators talk about that. It is, in a sense, a commandment, many say, but it's the foundation of all the commandments. How can you have a commandment unless there's a commander-in-chief? And Hashem, in that incredible verse, those incredible historical words, I am Hashem, your God. We should look out for number one and remember number one, the number one of the 10 statements or commandments all the time. It's the foundation of everything. It was a moment unlike any other moment in history. And it's preserved in our Torah. And we're supposed to renew that teaching, that lesson, that guidepost every day. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am Hashem your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt from a house of slavery. It's number one of the 10 commandments. It alludes to the number one, Hashem Echad, because he's the one, capital O, the one and only. And by the way, our rabbis tell us that at the revelation at Sinai, we didn't only hear the 10 commandments. We perceived the absolute oneness of God. We saw, and actually Moses himself says this in the book of Deuteronomy, he reminds the Jewish people, you were shown on that day to know that Hashem, he is the only God, Ein Od Milvado. Not only the only God, the one and only source of reality. Okay, it's give or take already, but okay. So looking out for number one. But also, when we really internalize the message of number one, I am Hashem, your God, that's the radical notion of Judaism. God is a personal God. He is an Anochi, not a person, but a personal God. I am Hashem, your God. In other words, every individual is special, is unique. Looking out for number one, not in an egotistical way, but realizing my own greatness, my spiritual core, a spark of God. And that was confirmed when he said to the Jewish people, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am Hashem your God, who took you out of the land of Egypt, who's interested and involved in the affairs of not just mankind in general, but you, every one of you. Got to look out for number one, meaning take care of our own divine spark and nurture it with the help of the Torah. That's the whole purpose of all the mitzvot, to expand and nurture I'm going to mix a bunch of metaphors here, but to grow the light, to expand the divine essence and make it illuminate and radiate throughout the world. So we should let go for number one, and it won't be egotism if we base it on number one. I am Hashem, number one of the Ten Commandments. I am Hashem, your God who took you out of the land of Egypt. A personal God who cares about every one of us. Have a wonderful Shabbos. There's no give or take with Shabbos. Just take it all in, enjoy it. Good Shabbos.